It is so important for us to recognize our current beliefs and understand why we believe them to be true and if it has benefited us so far in our life. We are typically influenced by the community, culture, media, and the people around us, but it is our parents or primary caretaker that has the most powerful imprint in our lives. We begin to take on our parents' thoughts and beliefs as our own, and it becomes building blocks on how we create ourselves to be in this world. But as we get older and begin to grow and evolve more into ourselves, we have to really take a look at those building blocks and see if they are stable enough to hold who we are becoming. And if not, we have to be honest with ourselves and tear them down and rebuild them again. As we become old enough to step out into the real world, we unconsciously begin to imitate our parents and those we were surrounded by. We learn fears, how to react, manage our emotions, and how to interact with the outside world from those around us. But as we grow, we develop our own personality and identity, but still take on the roles that was modeled for us. And most of the time, those are the roles that are keeping us in bondage and holding us down because the reality they once lived by is no longer our reality. That's how generational curses are passed down from one generation to another. Parents pass down their thoughts and beliefs to their children, and the children hold those thoughts and beliefs as truth and continue to pass it down to their children, and so on. For example, whooping your children was thought to teach discipline and keep them from being disobedient and acting out. But in reality, whoopings came from slavery time, where the slave master whipped the slaves to keep them in order so that they would not digress outside of their instructions. And in the minds of the slaves, they taken on that belief as a way to keep their children in line from acting up. But in reality, there is more ways to discipline a child besides causing physical harm. But we will continue to live by this belief until we recognize that that belief no longer aligns with who we are in today's reality. And to be clear, beliefs are our own mental perception that we hold to be true based on our own understanding, experience, culture, upbringing, or information that we've received. And once we begin to open our mind and shift our perception to shift our beliefs, how we live our world begins to change. Now, that does not mean you were wrong in your previous beliefs. It just means that you've outgrown old beliefs that was holding you back from seeing the whole picture of it all, forcing you to only operate in a box. For many people, the mind has been programmed to see the negative. Our unconscious mind rejects new experiences that doesn't fit into what we are used to or what we've always known. This happens because it's not a part of our beliefs, and we tell ourselves that our current beliefs are right and anything else is a lie. Having this type of mindset will cause resistance in your journey to evolving. It will keep you restrained to a certain level of thinking. Most people will refuse to shift their perception or address limiting beliefs because they are emotionally tied to the belief. There are people who experience benefits for believing in limiting beliefs, which causes them to remain stuck to them. For example, those who believe in racism and oppressing a group of people. They stick to this belief because it has proved to be beneficial for them. So anything that goes against their current belief, they will remain closed off to it, limiting them and their experience. Accepting a new belief also means that they would have to question everything they once knew, and that can be a lot for some people. But it's important for us to retrain our brain to move from negative belief patterns to empowering ones so that we can step into new position in situations without old, outdated, limiting beliefs. So, to shift out of old, outdated limiting beliefs, first thing we have to do is become aware of any limiting beliefs we may have and question them. These are beliefs that causes resistance in us or doesn't bring harmony or peace. These are beliefs that we just believe because everyone says we should believe it, but in reality doesn't serve who we really are. These are also beliefs that we hold about ourselves that aren't really true as well. Things such as not feeling worthy or deserving or of something or capable of achieving something in your life. These are beliefs about ourselves that tend to hold us back from taking action towards our desires. Are there any beliefs that you hold on to that hinders you more than help you live the life you desire? Really examine certain beliefs that you operate in but doesn't really benefit you. So a common example would be money. Some people believe that the lack of money hold people back to not allow them to achieve success in abundance. Or they believe that money requires a lot of work. So no work means no money. And this is all beliefs based on society and culture. Personally, I always believed you had to work hard for money. You had to go and get a job for money. I was 12 doing work around the house for my granny to be able to purchase my own things. I got a job at 16 and kept a job since because I felt you always had to be working to obtain money. That was until I quit my job. I mainly quit my job because God told me to, but He needed me to change my mindset around a few things in my life that was keeping me from stepping out into purpose. I had to begin believing that money can come when living a life of passion and excitement. It can come while sharing purpose and enjoying what you are doing without the hustle and sweat. Money can come with grace and ease by doing what we love instead of doing what we don't love. This allows us to be able to thrive in life instead of just surviving. I had to remember that I have the option and the power to believe something different from what I was always told. When you are trying to release limiting or disempowering beliefs, you have to identify the stories that we have known to believe as truth, but in reality distracts us or pulls us away from the life we want. And we have to be very honest with ourselves. If some stories were distractions or held you back or has taken away your potential or ability to expand your thoughts or go beyond to see your full potential, then we have to create a different story regarding that matter. A story that encourages positive belief systems that align with your vision for your life. So, for the next activity, you will dive deeper into your current beliefs about certain aspects in your life. There will be a PDF attached where you can fill out what you currently believe to be true in the stories you have been telling yourself regarding love, relationships, money, family, and even yourself. This could also include what other people have told you to be true regarding such things. This helps you realize other people's stories you have possibly been repeating to yourself regarding any beliefs, mindsets, emotions, and expectations you have regarding your own reality. You'll be considering some things like money. Do you believe you have to work hard to get money? Do you believe life is meant to be hard or easy? Is it easy to be loved or is it hard? Can people be trusted or do they have to gain your trust? Is there a God or is there a universe? Is having joy or happiness something we create or have to work for? This is all to understand where you currently are in your mind in relation to the world around you. Taking a look at our current beliefs and patterns we've developed in our life will help us shift into a place where we can be more connected and compassionate with all things in the universe and begin to attract the life we desire without the limitations.